right on the ocean. It's a charming little community. But I just found that funny that people actually said that to me. Please, we want to keep our community like it is. You know?
I did a road trip with my boyfriend at the time, and we drove the French. We kept driving. I said, let's drive until we don't see any tourists. And he was annoyed. He's like, I'm on vacation too, and all I'm doing is driving. But we drove along. We left the French Riviera into the Spanish Riviera, and we kept driving. And I said, this is the spot. I was trying to get away from tourists. It was called Playa del Mar or something. It was like, and it was so tiny. And we went and we camped out there, and the guy at the restaurant said, "Oh, you're the second American I've met in my entire life." And to the boyfriend, "You're the first Russian." He was a Russian. So I was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah.
We're away from the tourists.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I love, too, to find those little areas that are not frequented by tourists and just to experience different cultures, lifestyles. I rarely want to take public transportation. I want to walk. I just want to walk as much as I can when I'm in a place like that. Yeah.
All right. So what do you got?
Wanting to travel.
Yeah. So what do you got for me, Chuck? I hear that people are going absolutely crazy about this new bill that President Trump has passed. Interesting thing is,
you mean his big, beautiful bill?
We're going to talk about it. But before we do, if everybody would like, share, and subscribe to the channel, it would be awesome. This is Chuck and I. We get together every Tuesday. We talk tequila, tarot cards, and politics. And we'd love it if you could join us. But right now we are talking about the bad boy himself.
Bad boy bashing the big, beautiful bill.
Bill of the sky. What do you think, Chuck? Are you surprised? What do you think about all that?
It's very interesting. Elon's been doing this for about the last 4 weeks or so, where he's been turning against Trump. He's been he seems to be trying to distance himself from the MAGA Republicans. He's done so. I suspect a lot of it has to do. He's done so much damage to his own reputation, his own empire. Hasn't he lost something like $100 billion? He's gained the scorn of the world. And maybe this is his way to start reinventing himself, to go back to those days when he was considered the geeky, educated nerd, into space travel and things like that. He wants to get back to that image again. But he seems to definitely be distancing himself, because I thought it was really amazing the way he just flat out bashed the bill. I mean, he called it a disgusting abomination. I have it written down here. Those in quotation marks. He called it a disgusting abomination that would swell the United States deficit.
That would what? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those were his own words today. I don't know in fact, I think it was today or it was yesterday. He posted this on X in a series of, do they still call them tweets now?
Yeah.
Or postings, whatever. But he did several postings on this theme using his platform of X.
And what do you think's going on, Chuck? What's your feeling about this? Do you think that they had a falling out, or he genuinely is trying to reduce cost?
I think it's a little bit of all of the above.
Really?
Trump is notoriously difficult and impossible to get along with. I have a feeling they clashed quite a bit when they were working together. So that probably factored into it. But I think, as I said earlier, he's just done so much damage to his own image, his own brand. All the money he's lost. Tesla is in deep trouble right now. And so I think he feels like he's done what he's set to do. And now he wants to get back to his life and his own empire again and try to repair all of that. That's what I think.
It doesn't sound like he accomplished anything if there's a big, beautiful bill and the deficit is worse than
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I'm just frustrated because from what I understand, this big, beautiful bill is making things, it's like, what the heck are we doing?
Yeah.
And I did a remote view for people. They asked me to go into the Senate, and I felt like I was being pressured to sign this thing, and I didn't even know what the hell I was signing. And that's what came out today, is that the Congress and Senate, they're just going along
Oh
with
yeah.
pressure, but they have no
Oh,
idea.
in fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of our favorite legislators, she
Yeah.
came out and just flat out admitted she hadn't read the bill. Many of them hadn't read the bill, and they were actually surprised by some of the things in there. Like there was one provision that would ban states from passing any new laws regarding AI. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was going, "Well, I didn't know about that." That's
What the heck?
yeah, yeah, that was in the news today. And first of all, it's kind of embarrassing to admit you haven't read the bill in the first place, but you're also admitting you're not doing your job.
Oh, that's so true. And
You,
the other
yeah.
thing, Chuck, is that if it's a cult and you have to have faith and believe in this being, because they've made Trump into like a Jesus for them.
Oh yes.
I question your faith. Your faith is questionable because if you don't go along with this, then something's going on with, I question your faith in you're not a true loyal patriot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's this pressure. Oh no, I'm a patriot. I support this, and so you sign. But meanwhile, nobody has a clue, and there's no accountability.
Yeah, well, no accountability, but I think about something Nancy Pelosi said a few months ago. She said, as the Democrats have pretty much been stripped of their power right now because of the Republican majority, but she said, maybe we can't do anything to stop this, but we can certainly make certain the Republicans they own what they're doing.
Who
They
said
have to be held accountable. It was
that?
Nancy Pelosi a few
Oh,
months ago. I remember her just saying that we're going to make sure they own this. They are accountable, because it's unconscionable on many levels. But Republicans are even being told right now that Elon Musk is a bigger problem to them than the Democrats. The way he's shooting his mouth off right now, and
can you elaborate on that when you say that? You mean by not endorsing the bill? Is that
well,
what?
by more than not endorsing the bill, he's also denigrating the bill, calling it an abomination. Saying it's going to increase the deficit, not shrink it. I mean, he's basically saying all the things the Republicans, and Trump don't want him saying.
Right, right.
It's a big embarrassment right now.
Do you have any predictions about how you think it's going to end with these two?
Why am I think? I just hear the words explode and implode both. It just seems like a big disaster in the making. The problem with Elon Musk, he's a big mouthpiece. He's front and center. He's also got X, a forum. So anything he says is going to make major news. It's going to get noticed. And I think that's going to be a problem for them for a while. And I don't know how long he's going to continue with this. This, I don't know if you would call it a tirade, but it seems to me he's just trying to distance himself. That seems to be his primary goal. And I don't know if it's a vendetta against Trump. Who knows what went on between them, what kind of falling out. But maybe he did do what he set out to do. I was saying, what was it? Jon Stewart said something about him. I was trying to find the quote here. Oh yeah, Jon Stewart said, "Well, Elon did what he set out to do. He came in the back door and stole all of our data."
Was that Jon Stewart said
It
that?
was Jon Stewart who said that.
Well, that's actually what I felt. I
Yeah,
felt like my work is done because it was all about there's a side of Elon Musk that you feel when you go into this remote that he is the little boy who's going to create a world and then he's going to trap everybody in a computer chip. When you die, you'll be trapped forever in a computer chip.
yeah.
You will be your God, trapped forever in this artificial intelligence world.
Wow.
So he's got to get everybody's name. He would have made a hell of a Mormon the way he's collected.
Yeah, makes me wonder now about that little clause slipped into the bill about prohibiting states from making new laws about AI for 10 years. I wonder if Musk had anything to do with that.
Serious?
Well, that's what I read in the news today.
That's terrifying
I
because
know it is.
there's
Yeah.
evidence that AI is going to take us out.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that they slipped that into the bill, hoping no one was going to notice it. But it's also interesting you said that about him being like a little boy, because I have this thing about Jon Stewart. I just wrote a few things down. Jon Stewart said Trump has reduced Elon Musk to a little boy who just wants to talk about starships. because he was being interviewed on CBS News and they wanted to ask him about all this. And Elon was going, oh, no, I didn't agree to talk about this. I want to talk about my space program. So Jon Stewart was definitely mocking that. But he also said, Doji has finally rooted out one of America's least efficient government workers by getting rid of Elon Musk. Yeah. Jon Stewart's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Very funny, but he's very shrewd and smart.
Well, on that note, I think we can go ahead and get the party started. We'll go ahead and we'll do the empath's prayer for people. And then if you have any questions about what's going on politically right now, we would love to hear from you. Feel free to ask Chuck and I any questions you like, and we will do our best. We've got cards, we've got pendulums, you name it, we got it. We got lights, we got it all. And we're ready to make it happen. So let's go ahead and let's do the empath's prayer. We'll bring it on in, and then we'll do some blitzes. Does that sound good?
It sounds wonderful.
So feel free to ask us anything you like. Let's go ahead and let's do the empath's prayer.
Okay.
Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. 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 May all souls be healed. All right, let's see what we got going on there. Any questions coming in?
Let me see here.
Beautiful people here. I'm sure they've got loads of questions.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Today I was doing some stuff on the whole thing with Elon Musk and the rift. He thought he had so much power.
I think so. I think he thought he had bought so much power and maybe found out he couldn't get away with it. I think he really thought he was going to come in, throw out the Constitution, change government. He was going to do all this in 3 or 4 months, revolutionize things. He maybe thought, it's my government, I paid for it. And it just, thank God it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you can have a big, beautiful idea, but if people don't want to budge, or if everybody else has a big, beautiful idea, so you don't just walk into a tabula rasa when you're dealing with something like Washington, D.C., where you can go and do whatever.
Yeah.
And he thought it was going to be this great transformative thing, and I'm going to go in there, and none of that happened. But what did happen was that he was able to access really private information.
Oh, it's frightening, bringing in those kids, college kids with their laptops, and just taking all the data, all of our financial information, our social security records, banking information. I mean, it's just terrifying what he has right now. And some speculate that that's all he ever wanted to do. And mission accomplished.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.